So in one of the Deadpool 2 TV spots, Deadpool said that they were shooting for this amount of expectations, and we're actually going to get about, well, here. He wasn't exactly lying. Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome to my review for Deadpool 2. This movie was directed by David Leitch. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. If not, I apologize. I am a fan of his work. He directed John Wick, a movie that I did not expect was going to be as good as it was. It turned out to be fantastic. And this movie is the sequel to Deadpool, which came out in 2016, and it was basically a breath of fresh air for the superhero genre. Because what Deadpool did so well was that it poked fun at a lot of the superhero movie tropes and cliches that, whether good or bad, were present in a lot of superhero movies. And it just turned into its absurdity and accentuated its strengths and hid its weaknesses. Its weaknesses being a very weak story, and its strengths being very subversive and very much breaking the fourth wall. So when Deadpool 2 was announced, I was like, okay, let's go. The premise of this movie is basically a combination of Terminator 2 and Looper. This this boy basically threatens the future of a mutant named Cable, played by Josh Brolin. So Brolin time travels to present day in order to kill this boy and save his future. However, Deadpool is there to try and stop him. First, the good. Cable was my favorite part of the movie. I swear, Josh Brolin is like James Brown, the hardest working man in Hollywood right now. Because he was in Infinity War, he's gonna be in Sicario 2 later in June, and he's in this movie, and he's really good. His character could have really been super dry and boring, but it's Brolin who really makes this character work. And when he does make a quip, it's really funny. And I also really liked the action. David Leitch directed this movie. Like I said, he also directed John Wick. In my opinion, it has some of the best action scenes of the 2010s. And this movie is no different. The man clearly knows what he is doing in terms of filming action, and so I tip my hat to you. The rest of the movie is kind of subpar, so let's talk about that. First of all, let me just get this out of the way. I liked this movie. Overall, I thought it was good. But this movie should have been so much better. And the fact that it wasn't is the reason why I'm just saying it's fine. First of all, let's talk about Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. In the first movie, he was fantastic. Ryan Reynolds was clearly born to play this role. And you can tell the passion that he has for this character. You could tell in the first one, and you can clearly tell in this movie. And he has his moments. But for the majority of the movie, I thought he was kind of laying it on a little too thick. And normally I wouldn't mind because, this is Deadpool, this is what he does, and so I will meet the character halfway and see where it goes. I did, and what they did with the character, I just wasn't a fan of. Without spoiling anything, they basically try and give Deadpool this moral center without any shred of irony. Meanwhile, in the first Deadpool, he made fun of that moral center. So much so that when you do see a rare moment of heart or anger, it really stuck out. In this movie, there are so much more of those moments that they just stop feeling special. And you're just praying for the wisecracking Deadpool again. And there's just not enough of it. My other big problem with the movie was the X-Force stuff. Again, without spoiling anything, in many ways they try and create the X-Force without establishing any of the other characters, just saying, here is this person, here is their power, here is this person, here is their power. Suicide Squad called, they want their character building back. Though to be fair, this movie did it a lot better than Suicide Squad. However, it's like, oh, hi, I'm Domino, I'm lucky. Oh, I'm Shatterstar, I'm basically good at everything. You know, no other characteristics about them. It's just their name and their power. That's about it. And having the X-Force in this movie wouldn't bother me per se, but it just feels like the studio was just trying to be like, here's the X-Force, like it, like it, like it. And I want to like it, but if I feel like it's being like pressed into my face, then I'm gonna kind of resent it a little bit. And I didn't resent it, but it just, again, it was there. And that's the big problem with this movie. It should have been a lot better than it was. But really what this movie is if you took a Deadpool comic, combined it with the loose leaf notes of Terminator 2 and some bullet points from Looper, and combine the two, you get Deadpool 2. And it's kind of disappointing. I'm going to give this movie a forgettable rating. I know this is going to be really controversial, but I'm being honest, and on my channel, I prize myself with being very honest. If I love this movie, I want to say that I loved this movie. However, I just don't think I'm ever going to watch this movie again. I had my one and done, and that's about it. Maybe my mind will change the more I think about it, but for right now, this movie's just plain forgettable. Okay, so a fair bit of you probably hate me at this point, so if you liked this video by some miracle, please leave a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, please hit subscribe and hit the bell to allow notifications. And if you'd like to yell at me about your thoughts on this movie, although it'll probably be very crass, all of my social media will be in the description below. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully.